Thank you so much, Sowmya ma'am, for accepting my invitation and for being here to talk about yourself with me. So, who is Sowmya?
Um, I'm a chartered accountant practicing from Madurai. What else should I say about myself? I've been trained by Surabhi ma'am for the past 4 months. Under her guidance, I'm able to speak, think, and communicate well.
So, okay, this is something which we know, right? This is something which people know you, they know. But who is Sowmya, according to you? Something which people have never felt, or some part of you which you have never revealed, something which only you know about yourself.
I'm quite ambitious from my childhood. I never settle for less. I have high ambitions, which usually common people would say no, that you cannot achieve your dreams. That is not a realistic one. But I always wished for something big, great, which is envied by anyone. And I'm sincere, hardworking. I commit myself if I feel it's worthy.
Great. So definitely that spark is what has brought you here, right? That willingness to never settle for less. Yes, I think this is something which takes you forward in life. So let us talk about your childhood. So how were you in childhood, Sowmya ma'am? What was there a nickname? What did they call you in childhood?
My mother called me as a disobedient kid. That's how she describes about me to everyone. Academically, I was too good. I was always in the top 3 or top 5. Then I consider myself as a shy and comfortably an introvert. So it's not like I don't want to mingle with people, but I prefer to be an introvert.
So that is.
I got everything by being an introvert itself. So I didn't take that effort to be an extrovert, to talk and communicate with people.
So that is why you coined this word, comfortably introvert, right? Okay. Yeah, right. And then what kind of atmosphere you were brought up in? What kind of, something about your family?
Yeah. So till 5th, I was in a joint family. We had cousins, grandmother, all my paternal side, everyone was with us. So I had 2 uncles, 2 aunts, everyone staying in one roof, under one roof. So I should say more about my mother. And she's more linked to this Turbo English Mastery program too. So my mother is a graduate in English literature in 1980s itself. She did her schooling in an Anglo-Indian school. Since I was her first kid, she had great dreams and aspirations. I've seen her talking so fluently in English with her friends, but I hardly seen her talking at home. Because at family, we don't talk, we speak in our native language. And see, life teaches us different lessons. Just because she couldn't understand, read and write our native language well. So she thought for her kids, she wanted a school where the native language was taught well, so that they'll be able to understand all the spiritualistic books and all. She had trouble in understanding, reading in while standing in a bus stop. She found it difficult to even read the words. So it was a different story. So she wanted, but she had great dreams and aspirations. She used to, she's a very strict mother. She brought up us, she wanted us to do everything so perfectly. So I still remember when I was in second or third, she used to make me to fold my bed, wash my clothes. And also before the revision, I used to do twice or thrice revision for my coming exams. So academically, if I'm so good at anything, I owe everything to my mom. And also English also, ma'am. I still remember, although those days attending the visiting the school and asking for the teacher's opinion was not mandatory. It was only quarterly once. They used to give comments about our performance, but it was not requested. It was not necessary for the parents to visit the school. But my mom used to visit the school and ask my class teacher why my daughter is not responding anything in English. She used to. So that was the time that Young World got introduced in Hindu paper. She used to bring all the cuttings and she used to read it to me. But despite all her best efforts, I didn't speak in English. I avoided all the conversations. I had a great schooling. I had fabulous teachers. I see all my values, whatever decisions I make today, I know they were the people who are still influencing my decisions. But unfortunately, they all spoke in native language. Although I studied in matriculation school. So that's one of the drawback. I've seen my cousins laughing at, they did in an ICSE school in those days itself. So I have seen my cousins mocking others when they did mistake in English. So I chose not to communicate with them in English.
Yeah.
So that's the story.
It happens, whatever, it happens with, I think, all the mothers. We cannot just start repaying them what they have done for us. I think whatever I am today, it's because of my mother. Because as you said, your mother made it a point that you excel in everything, you know about everything, whatever you require in your life. So even my mother believed in this, that you should be jack of all. You should know everything. So she taught us stitching, she taught us knitting, and even cooking. I never was able to make round chapatis, but she tried her level best. But still, I cannot make round chapatis. So they are like that. Mothers are like that. So, Sowmya ma'am, something about, everybody, we face some struggles in our life. Be it personal life, be it professional life. And that struggle that plays a pivotal role, which brings a 360-degree turn in our life. And it changes our life upside down. So that change can be for bad also. That change can be for good also. So I want to know any 2 incidents which come to your mind when you were absolutely broken, and then you just, like a phoenix, you rose from your ashes. So any incident coming to your mind?
I'm a single mom. So I had to go through this separation phase and legal separation and all. It was too painful. So all till that time, I just felt I don't have to plan about my future, plan about my kids' education or my kids' future or my finances too. So that was a few years of struggle where it took me a long time to come in terms of the reality that I had to be responsible for from everything, for my finance, my education, my career, my kids' education. So whatever decisions I take in life. So that brought me a 360-degree different perspective towards life itself. Whatever I had before, it was completely different because I grew up in an environment where I was taught too much about epics. And also my grandmothers, everyone, they were too devoted to their life partners. So suddenly 360-degree difference came when I had to face a different thing which never, even my ancestors or from the stories I've heard in my childhood, I had to take up a different perspective. I don't know why God gave me that, but okay, that what I thought is if I'm being dependent I wouldn't have realized I have this much potential. So God relied on my potential. So He gave me this kind of challenge. Okay, I came through it. And so from that, I don't depend on anyone. So I have learned an important thing in my life. I have to invest on, one has to invest on, it's not myself, it's for everyone. One has to invest on himself or herself. So not to be dependent or not to be too sacrificing for the other person. Either that could be a partner or for kids. Best investment that you can make is is on yourself.
Right. Very true. Very true. Ultimately, it is this investment which pays you.
That's right, ma'am.
Because everything is good around you. People are good, life is good, but you never know what unexpected turn it might take. Thank you for sharing that, ma'am. Now, so something about your native language, as you told that your mother was not able to speak your native language, so she put you in a vernacular medium. So, and you said your mother was very good in English speaking. So you had that English speaking environment, right? She used to speak with her friends. But in spite of that, you were not ready to speak in English. So why is that? You said you were comfortably introvert. So why is that comfort? Why do we feel so comfortable with our native language and not with our with this English language, even when we have that environment? Suppose you said your mother was good in English, and suppose if I was from an English medium school, I had that environment in school, you had that environment at home, but still we are not willing to speak in English. Why is it so?
Native language, everyone is comfortable in their native language, but hardly my mother never spoke in English even with my father at home. So with my grandparents or with my cousins, with all of them, she chose to speak in Tamil. And also there came a point after the 6th and 7th and all, I started developing some kind of fear. I don't know why it came into my mind. Even when my grandfather spoke to me and if he questions me anything in English, I would respond to him in Tamil. So that's how I didn't know why it happened. But I know my mother used to speak to me. She used to ask anything in English. I used to respond to her in Tamil. So that's the way I was comfortable. I don't know. Maybe I didn't know how to form a sentence. So we were good in answering. Writing is good for me. So it came well. So I didn't know how to coin a question. How to raise the right questions. Will it be that can you get me some water? Even framing those questions, I didn't feel comfortable.
So do you believe, I mean, not right now, did you believe that it was a difficult language?
I don't think English is a difficult language, but I was made to feel that whoever spoke English is superior.
So who made you feel that? Like your family or your society or the education system? What brought this in your mind?
Maybe I think society, my cousins, they had the advantage. They wear shoes, whereas we wore only sandals for the school. The way they dress, the way they used to, I used to go by walk. They used to go by bus. So they used to take, I have attended their annual day functions and all. How she participates willingly in all the competitions, how she exposes herself, her influence, everything. That was creating some kind of inferiority in my mind. Like I was not equivalent to them somewhere. I don't know why I developed that thing, but it was there for me, inside me for a long time, very long time. So I just thought instead of breaking that, I just felt comfortable with whatever I had, because I got at that point of time, I was academically good, I was rewarded, I was appreciated. So that I just felt that was enough for me.
Right. So somewhere we think that, I think we are on a common page that this is created by the society. It's not, we cannot blame the education system because they are imparting good education. It's our choice. It was your mother's choice to send you to a vernacular medium. So we cannot blame the education system. So somewhere society is responsible for creating that mindset that whosoever is fluent in English is superior. And I think this mindset has been derived from Britishers because they ruled us. And they not only ruled us, they have colonized many of the countries across the world. So moreover, I think English has become the language of rulers. So if you can speak English, you can lead. You can be a leader. That is the common mindset. And it's still there. Right? I am like in my 40s, you must be in your 30s. It's still there. You're not able to eradicate it. Have you ever faced any embarrassing situation in your life? The most embarrassing moment you remember because of your inability to speak fluently in English?
There's no one incident. I have lot to share. So it's starting from my +2. I got, till 10th, I was in matriculation school where we used to talk in Tamil. But when I wanted to choose mathematics in my +1 and +2. So I got shifted to an ICSE school where everyone speaks so fluently in English. So I got state rank in that school. Okay. I wasn't, the principal understood my weakness since I came from a different school. She knew that I had this inability to communicate well in English. So when I got the rank, she called me to the school one day. She made me to stand on the stage. She was narrating everything. She spoke about the good things and all. But she, knowing my weakness, she didn't even give me an opportunity to speak there.
Oh my God.
So that was my first embarrassing moment. And when I got that state rank, twice or thrice, I've been invited, both in the governor's place and also here at my father's clubs and all. So there, I had to speak a few words about how I succeeded and all. So those were my embarrassing moments. So that was a public embarrassment because I couldn't respond. Otherwise, when I went to college, I just felt speaking in English people, those crowd, I generally avoid those people. I just felt comfortable making friends who are good in my native language. So I don't know, that's a wrong decision that I took. So because of my weakness, because of the fear that I may be mocked up, just because I was talking in my native language, I was just thinking whether I will be accepted as their friend. Will they join me in their group? So that's
so even after being a state rank holder, so bright in academics, this is one thing which kept you from involving with friends and socializing.
Yes, that's one of the thing. And also I fear people. That is also one of the other factors.
See, being so bright and being so talented is not enough. This language is so important to get you that prestige, to get you that respect and acceptance. This one language. We all have sailed in the same boat, Sowmya. Even I have faced these kind of things in my life, right? I have never socialized. I never went to college because of this. I just did everything private. So
that's why when you shared your story first, I can relate so much to you. And I have raised this question a lot many times. See, to improve my language, I have taken steps, ma'am. I've started reading. That's what my mother suggested me to do. Start reading. So even after starting to read, I had trouble in communicating. I was just wondering for a long time, a kid, say even that kid, if she has been taught only native language at school, when that kid is in 2nd or 3rd grade, that kid is able to make some few simple sentences, is able to talk. Whereas even though after learning so much after completing schooling, college, and after reading so many books, I wasn't able to talk. I had this confusion. I didn't know where to ask. Even my mom didn't know. So you came up with some simple techniques, which it could change, what to say, it brought about a lot of changes in me. That I could see, even if I'm able to speak this much, I owe many things to you, ma'am. So first courage, shedding the fear, and you worked on my mindset too. Like making mistakes is common. You have to keep practicing and all. So this thing, even my mother, although she's fluent, she didn't know. She had good intentions, but she didn't know the technique. She didn't know how she learned and how she was able to retrieve and communicate. So that was the greatest barrier. So I'm so glad I'm able to give this interview. It's because of you.
So it is only, as my mentor says, that the confidence is inside you. It is only that you have to find it. It is already there. We say we have to develop. No, it's already there. You just have to find it. Right. So now, what were the strategies or ways, or now I'm talking about this, but the mentors which you reached out to help you master this language? And did those strategies really help you in mastering this language?
Usually they say reading helps you a lot, and reading Hindu paper especially, they used to say. But I've been reading it, although not regularly. I've been reading it for maybe not consistent. I'm not consistent, but I have this habit of reading. And for the past 4 years, I just became a trainer too, locally, for conducting some small sessions and all. So there I've been assigned the topic of teaching reading and comprehension to students. So once I started teaching, I felt very bad about myself. If I'm not following something, how can I teach others? So I should, before I preach something, I should practice. So that's how I started. I started with reading kids' book and and also I read something. But reading helped me to develop a lot of ideas. It gave me different perspectives. And it gave me a lot of ideas, but it didn't help me to improve my vocabulary. Even last year, I just read about a rank holder. Like he was saying in his interview that he was taught entirely in a native language school, but he became a topper. But he was able to give. He said only strategy that he follows, he was reading the newspaper daily, but that didn't work for me. I was maintaining a diary. I was writing all the words, flashcards, remember the phrases. But then, even then, so much of reading didn't help me. I don't know why. So for some it may work. So I had struggles, because one thing is, as you teach, there is an active learning and passive learning. Maybe I'm learning it, I'm not applying anywhere out of fear. So fear was holding me back. I didn't try it with anyone. So that I think that was one of the reasons.
Yeah. So yes, the strategy which you learn, you must apply it. Otherwise, there is no point in learning. As I always say, if you're learning swimming, you have to swim. If you are learning speaking, you have to speak. So what the other things, what are the other trainers or maybe the other students are doing? They are just learning grammar, learning vocabulary, maintaining a diary, solving exercises. Come on, apply it. Start applying and you will see the results. Right? So you said actually this active speaking worked for you, right?
Yes.
Active learning worked for you. Okay. And sometimes people say, why should I learn English? There are many people, just like my husband. When I started the English Mastery Program, so the first target was my husband. I said, I want to try it on you. Before bringing it into the market, I want to try it on you. Let me see, is it helping actually, as it has helped me in my life? He said, why should I learn? My profession doesn't need it. My family doesn't need it. My friend circle doesn't need it. So why should I learn? Whatever I am, whatever level I am, I'm happy with it. So what is your message to such kind of people like my husband? What would you like to tell them?
I was like him once, but the need, see here, so no one came to my aid when I was forced to this marital status. I couldn't share my trauma other than my parents, and I couldn't go and search for a job too because I had a kid at my home. So the only possible way is to promote myself, is to communicate well, my knowledge, whoever I meet. It's leave alone this public speaking and all. So whomever I see, maybe in college or school, my own friends, when I start communicating about the knowledge, whatever I have, they will start responding to me. And also, we have already discussed, speaking, the one who speaks English is considered superior, right? So generally people assume that we have a lot of wisdom to share. So there only this, and also our conversation now itself, it's a good example. You have a different language and you are at Lucknow, and I am at Madurai. I have a different native language. And after this technology has grown, ma'am, there is no borders at all.
Yeah.
We have a lot of opportunities to communicate with any part of the world, whereas our language has borders.
Yeah.
It has boundaries. It cannot cross. So English is a universal language. We had to communicate. See, even I have lots of softwares for my profession. If I had to communicate to someone at North India or someone who's at the US, I had to speak in English to explain at least a broken English, to communicate whatever issue that I'm facing. So I cannot run away from this language. So whether you like it or not, it's a universal language.
So in simple words, if you don't learn English, if you don't know English, you are landlocked. You're absolutely landlocked.
You cannot grow yourself.
Yeah. And you cannot communicate with the people in the other part of not only the world, but even in the country. Right? So you need to know this language. This is a necessity. Yeah.
Even in a conversation, they expect us to speak, ma'am.
Yeah.
They expect us, even if I go for an audit or something, I've seen people. The moment they come to know that I'm a chartered accountant, they'll switch the language to English. That is, they are just testing my proficiency. Yeah. So here is a test. So I had to respond in English. Yeah. Otherwise, he will say, okay, this person doesn't know. She's not good at it. So there I had to get, he will, whether you agree or not, people are judgmental. Yeah, they judge your efficiency, wisdom, everything. Your language is also one of the things.
I think it is the most important thing to give them that which strata do you belong to in wisdom, in which strata are you there.
Yeah, and also it gives you you'll be able to command the fees.
Yeah.
They will pay without negotiating you.
Definitely.
No, okay, she is worthy. She has worked, although you might have worked so hard for it, if you are unable to communicate to them whatever steps you have taken to come to that space or to put it in this work, those people, they are going to, because whatever we do is not a product, service, we are delivering service. It is intangible. People cannot see it. So communication is very essential, and putting it in right words is even more important.
Definitely. So even not only English, putting it in right words, that means communicating in a way that you are able to just put across your point of view in a manner that the person understands it correctly, in the correct context. That is also very important. So that is the crux of my Turbo English Mastery program, because it not only helps you in speaking English, it helps you in speaking in English with the correct context. Right? So I think somewhere at the time of Britishers, when they gave the people who knew how to speak in English, they gave place to them in the administration. At that time, speaking English was a luxury. But I think in current scenario, English is a necessity. It's no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. Right? So some people right now, as we are talking, not some, I think many people, thousands of people are still struggling with this language. Whether learning of either speaking, learning and application both. So what would you like to tell them? What would you like to say to them?
Never miss an opportunity to speak in English. Don't fear for the mistakes. Keep practicing. Simple techniques can help us. And also, you shouldn't get disheartened initially, because it takes time to practice something, and to see the results, you have to wait for some time. So it's just in practice and conversing. Even small wins can give you a lot of confidence to communicate better.
Definitely. Rome was not built in a day. It takes time, right? So you have already told us answer to this question, Sowmya ma'am, that yes, for self-improvement, you need to invest on yourself. But is there something else which is coming to your mind? Any tips for self-improvement which you would like to share for our viewers?
Is it for the English language, ma'am?
Any, overall. Not only English, for overall. See, you told us that you should invest on yourself because you never know what life may bring to you. Apart from that, anything else on daily basis, or maybe anything which is coming to your mind?
We have to keep learning every day. Something we have to challenge our potentials every day. So before we go to bed, I ask one question to myself every day. Did I learn anything new? Did I apply anything new? Did I teach anyone anything new? So that's the only thing that keeps me motivated to learn something new and teach whatever I learn to people who are around us. So in that way, I feel there is a purpose to my life too.
Amazing. I mean, I will remember this. Did I learn anything new? Did I apply anything new? Did I teach anything new? Okay, this is amazing. This is great. Okay, so Sowmya ma'am, it was indeed amazing time we spent together. I think 34 minutes we have spent, and I got to learn a lot from you. And yes, we have gone through tough times in our lives, be it personal or be it professional. Life has been challenging. And yes, the spark that yes, we have to invest on ourselves and we have to become better each and every day is what keeps us moving. So thank you, Sowmya ma'am. Thank you so much for giving your precious time.